Welcome, everyone, ladies, babies, bums, and babies. Welcome to Bums, Business, and Brilliance. So, hi, my name is Jutta, and I know when you watch this, of course, you didn't make it to the live class, which is a real pity, but never mind. I understand sometimes we are busy working, but I wanted to welcome you and I wanted to introduce myself and talk a bit about the topic of, from boardroom to birth room and from birth room back to boardroom and to the workplace. So my name is Jutta Wohlrab. Of course, I've been a professional midwife, coach, trainer, speaker, and author for the past 41 years. And I've worked with thousands of women just like you. And it doesn't matter where you are from, whether this is your first baby, your third baby, whether you're a working mom, whether you're an entrepreneur, business owner. It's a really important topic when we look at it, and it's something that should really catch everyone's interest, and usually it does. Why do I say that? Because in all my work through all those years, I was always interested in how can women have it all? How can you have a career? How can you stay in work, in business? Maybe even create a new business in the time, be pregnant, have a birth, and have a good timing, because everything in life is about timing. Sometimes we have surprise timing, something unexpected happens, and I have to say often the good things in life are surprises. Maybe your baby is a surprise, who knows? Maybe it's a long expected baby, something you have tried a long time, or maybe it was a surprise baby. However, I really want to come back to the topic that we're going to talk about. So when we talk about the timing, especially after the birth, is going to be of great importance. It's also of great importance in the pregnancy, but that's something you can plan a little bit more different to after the birth. Why do I say that? And that's something for all of you, as I said, no matter if you had a baby, if this is your first, your second, or your third. So I'll give you a story. I have a lovely client. She just gave birth to her fourth baby, which I think is amazing. She's an entrepreneur. She runs her own business, and she was in my care in her fourth pregnancy. She enjoyed my yoga. She enjoyed many things, talking to her, giving her sessions. And she told me with her first baby, she felt like, okay, I really have to stay on top of everything. She had a big event coming up, and she went on stage, speaking on stage 3 weeks after the birth. And she said to me, I did it because I felt I have to. Otherwise, I would lose maybe my business, and I didn't want to. And that's a question that is discussable. But she said, to be honest, it wasn't that great. And I agree, because I have to say 3 weeks is very early. I know some of you might live in the US. So for you, it's going to be really tough. I'm quite honest, because often you will be expected to return already 2-3 weeks after the birth. So let me lay it out to you. First of all, what is important to consider is, how are you going to give birth? So even if you have a planned C-section, you can't plan it out like, oh, that day I go back to work, because there could be a lot of unexpected things happening. And the more you pressure yourself, must do this, must do that, the more complicated it might get for you. So if you really ask me, if you have a chance to at least give yourself 6 weeks, that would be wonderful. Of course, sometimes life will press on and we have to do something, but then you have to be really well prepared. Why? My client with her second baby said, I took a few months off, 3 months. Okay, not everyone will be in the position to do so. But when you plan out things, if people ask you, you think you can go back on stage? You think you can do a meeting? You think you can do this and that? Always leave a room of maybe, yeah? Because in the modern world, we also have to think, if we talk about female leadership and how life should be, we also have to create a new way of thinking about it. And it will also incorporate that women that have babies are not machines and just can't go back. Why do I say that? Say, if you had a difficult birth, for instance, and some of you might have that, if you had a very long labor, even if you had a very easy vaginal birth, still, for instance, your pelvic floor might be sore. You might have things like hemorrhoids, things like this people don't talk about. But it might be physically quite full on to present something in front of a group and stand there, maybe even in heels or something. So I have to say, if you can get around that, I would advise you do so. Yeah, because your baby is only one so little and so small. And when you get out and you pressure yourself that you have to perform, it's often going to lead to other problems in the next following days. Of course, as I said, I'm realistic. Sometimes we just have to do it, and then you just do it. But if you plan to have a big presentation or a big project where you need to be part, my idea would be, if you could do it remotely, if you could do it online, do it, because at least it would give you the chance to stay at home, and then after your presentation to straight away lie down back in your bed and to relax. Now you might think, hey, Jutta, do I really have to lie in bed? No, not all the weeks. But in the first few weeks, it's great to have a chance to relax, lie down, not to pressure your pelvic floor. Also, you might be breastfeeding. And I'm honest with you, breastfeeding is something that will take 6 to 8 weeks until breastfeeding is established. So there's a lot of physical changes the body is undergoing. There's a lot of emotional changes. Yeah, there might be even, a lot of mindset stuff going on. And to grow into a new role, which all of you will, yeah, to be a mom, you need to allow yourself some time. Now, I also understand sometimes financially we maybe have to, but then really try to spread it out, prepare this postnatal time, and try to give a bit of air to yourself so you have room to maneuver. And please, no matter where you are in the world, try to find some support. Even if it's just someone that does a little bit of something for you, whether it's someone coming in cleaning once per week, your partner helping you with the baby. And if you have an event coming up, make sure that your partner or the people around you support you so that you can have a bit of rest before you present something, work something, do something. Yeah, it has great importance. So luckily in Germany, you don't have to go straight away back to work, but when you run your own business, I understand your own business is your baby. Now, the postnatal time, the first part finishes around 6 weeks after the birth. And that's a time where you might feel like, I'm okay. I understand what my baby says. I understand a bit what's going on in my body. Usually your body should feel more healed, but I'm honest, it takes 1 year until the body bounces back into what the body has been before. Normally, I'd say after 3 months, you are sort of on top of things. Yeah, you understand your baby a bit better. If you breastfeed or feed, you have a more of a feeding rhythm. Your nights might change a bit. Why? Because babies will create melatonin and serotonin in their brain only after 8 to 10 weeks. Now, coming back to you, because I wanted to give you just a short look into the topic, because I think it would be great to see you at one stage and talk to you about the topic. It's always going to be an individual matter. It also depends a bit on where you are at in your life, how much help you can have, how much help can you afford. Now, some of you will be in a position where they can stay practically out of work for a few months, 6, 7, 8, 9, even 10. Some of you will live in a country where they must go back very quickly. Now, depending on who you are and where you live, and also what you're doing, of course, we can always set up an individual plan for you and find specific strategies exactly for you. Of course, it's always a bit an individual matter. It will also depend very much on how you gave birth. And you might not quite see that yet, but how you give birth will make a difference how you start into the weeks after. So whether you had a traumatic birth, whether you had a really wonderful birth, like one of my clients who is a CEO, I just met her a couple of days ago on the street. And I looked after her and supported her through two pregnancies and after. And of course, when you have a baby for the very first time, everything is new. So you have to put into consideration you're going in unknown land. And there's a lot of things for you to learn and a lot of things to understand about yourself, who you are, how things are working with your partner and everything. But she said to me, Jutta, I really want to say something because I told her about this topic. And she said, great topic. She said, Of course, you need a good strategy, which I set up with her. And I really helped her for the second birth to have a really, really fantastic, a very positive birth experience. And she said to me, let me say something. I'm back in work. I have 2 children, and I feel so powerful that I've really was able to give birth to 2 children and feed them. She was breastfeeding, and then at a certain time start part-time and then go back into my work. And I said to her, that's exactly what I was talking about. So here's the thing. First of all, check out how your work environment is, what opportunities and options you have in your workplace. If you run your own business, see how you can create many resources to have a bit of air to breathe and create a certain degree of flexibility. Now, if there's events that you have to really attend or give, plan them out, but make sure you have a good plan with the people around you. And let me see what else. And leave room for change, because I think we all know now we can plan, but some things will change. And sometimes we just have to give ourselves, because the emotion and the mental load is going to be very different to what you have experienced now. Another key is to really set a financial plan. And another key is definitely prepare your birth. Trust me, ladies, bumps and babies, how your birth is going to go is going to make a big difference to how you enter the next stage. So all those parts are connected. Yeah, and with this, I think I gave you a little insight into some things that I know. Of course, I would love to have a great discussion around this topic, how you feel, how your partner feels. And may I say to everyone, there's many more topics coming up, also how to integrate your partner, taking your partner into partnership, because there are a million things in this so important 9 months of your pregnancy and into the start of your life. So I hope this insight helped you. I also hope you enjoyed it. And I would love to see you in one of my next lunchtime events that will happen almost every Thursday. So if you think there is something you'd like to discuss with me in person, of course, you can book a call for free with me. It doesn't matter in which time zone you are, because I will happily make some time, room, and space for you, whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening, and talk to you to make those 9 months and the time after the most amazing, but also the most transformative and powerful and empowered time of your life. Well, nice meeting you, and I'll see you hopefully soon in the next event. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy wherever you are. And good luck with everything.